Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today I'm going to talk about why the Lexus GX 470 is one of the best SUVs in the world. And the one behind me is something that I purchased today for my mother. And I'm going to tell you all about it. The prior owner did every recommended service by Lexus. Recently, this vehicle had the timing belt replaced. Lexus recommends that you replace the timing belt at 90,000 miles. This prior owner did it at 82,000 miles. And they replaced the water pump along with the radiator. And these were all OEM Lexus parts. In addition to that, this vehicle has newer Michelin tires all the way around it. It's never been in an accident, and it's always been serviced by Lexus. I decided to buy this for my mother because it's a very safe and reliable vehicle. If you do some research online, the 4.7 liter V8 engine is one of the most robust engines out there. This 4.7 liter V8 engine runs incredibly smooth because it is a timing belt engine. Now some of you might say, hey, why would you want a timing belt engine? Because you have to replace it every 90,000 miles. Well, I'd rather have a timing belt engine as opposed to a timing chain engine. If you do some research online, there are some Toyota engines with timing chains that develop a front timing chain cover leak. That is incredibly expensive to have repaired. You often need to remove the engine completely from the vehicle and disassemble a portion of that engine to replace the front timing chain cover gasket. I don't want any part of that. That's not something that I want my mother to have to deal with. So I bought her this because it has a timing belt instead of a timing chain. Now I'm going to switch around the camera so you can check out the condition of this GX 470. There are no door dings on this GX 470. There are a few little chips and scratches, but this is a 2004, so it's 21 years old. But I really am confident in the quality of this era of Lexus. Now you might ask, why did I purchase a 2004 instead of a 2005? Well, the 2004 has a non-VVTi engine. Now there are some advantages to having a VVTi engine, but if you ever need to tear into the engine, you'll be glad you have a non-VVTi engine. I mentioned earlier that this has newer Michelin tires all the way around. It does have aftermarket rims. Not a huge fan of those, but they are nice aluminum rims, and the clear coat is intact. You don't have the chipping of the clear coat like you might find on some vehicles. If I were going to fault this vehicle for anything, it would be the yellowing headlights. I'm really surprised the dealer didn't restore those. That's something that I will have done for my mother at some point. But this is a really clean truck. Now some of you might ask, well, why did you not buy your mother a Land Cruiser or the Lexus equivalent, which is the LX? Well, if you do some research on those, you'll find they're very capable off-road vehicles. But my mother is not going to go off-roading. She doesn't need either of those. Those are amazing vehicles, but they cost a lot more to maintain. The Lexus GX 470 is a very robust vehicle. A lot of people on the internet have been able to get 200 or 300 or even 400,000 miles out of them. A lot of people out west want these because of their off-road capabilities. Now you'll be surprised to know that this example here with exactly 90,000 miles. Not 91, 90,000 miles. One owner, no accidents, always serviced by Lexus. I was able to get this bought for around $12,000. Compare that to all of the other ones on the market out there, and you'll see that that is an incredible bargain. It's not perfect. I mentioned it has some little chips and some very small scratches, but it is a very clean truck. I'm going to show you the inside. Typical driver seat wear and tear. The passenger seat really looks great. And what some people don't know is that this wood trim is not fake. This is genuine wood. Read about it for yourself online. Now, this one has the tilt and telescopic steering wheel, and that's great for my mother, who's barely 5 foot in height. She can adjust that steering wheel along with the seat to suit her driving position. Now, these Lexus GX 470s are quite roomy. The back seat's in great shape, and you do have a cargo area in the back. You also have a nice moonroof. Still has the original Lexus floor mats. There's the Lexus nameplate as you enter the vehicle. And I really like the auto up and down windows. It's a nice feature. And then of course, memory settings for your seats. Now these vehicles do have one problem, and you'll find this problem with all the GX 470s, and that is the dashboards crack. The type of plastic that was used by Lexus is prone to cracking. This one's in pretty good shape compared to many that I've seen on the market. If you ever want to replace this dash, it's incredibly expensive. You can get an overlay, but you will see some of the dash underneath. It's not a perfect overlay. You can also get a microfiber dash pad or one of those carpeted dash pads. I don't really like those, but they are available on the market. Here you have the four-wheel drive controls, and you have the heated seat controls. Here's some video footage of the Lexus GX 470 running. I think these gauges are really quite elegant, and the tilting and telescopic steering wheel has always been an impressive feature on many Lexus vehicles going back to the early 90s. You know, I remember when Lexus first introduced the LS 400, such a legendary vehicle. Many of you may remember the wine glasses stacked on the hood of the LS 400 while it was on a dyno, and that vehicle was revved up to a high rate of speed on that dyno, and yet that stack of wine glasses on the hood remained perfectly still. And that's a timing belt engine, just like this GX 470. Now, that was a 4-liter V8. This has a 4.7-liter V8. There's one more thing I want to mention about the Lexus GX 470, which makes it a great vehicle in my opinion. It was manufactured in Japan. The very first digit on the VIN is a J. And there's something about the Toyota and Lexus vehicles that were manufactured in Japan versus the vehicles manufactured in other areas of the world. There have been automotive engineers that have taken a paint meter to the J VIN Toyota and Lexus vehicles and found that the paint thickness is greater on J VIN vehicles. They have also measured the gaps between the panels on J VIN vehicles and found that the tolerances are superior to those found on Toyota and Lexus vehicles manufactured in other parts of the world. Great point about this vehicle from my perspective is it has side airbags in addition to front airbags, and this has a full frame under it, just like you would find on a truck. And from a safety perspective, I think that is important. I want my mother to be safe, and I like the fact that there's a lot of steel around her and she has that full frame underneath. I think it's a really good looking truck. It's got the window tint. I think that she will have a lot of trouble-free years driving this, and I really like the Toyota and Lexus vehicles from the early to mid 2000s. I think those were some of the best years. As you know, I have a 2004 Toyota Camry with 436,000 miles on it. So I decided to buy my mother a 2004 Lexus. There's just something about Lexus and Toyota vehicles from that era. This one here, the Lexus dealership recently changed all the fluids. They did the antifreeze, the transmission flush, they did brake fluid, power steering fluid, and they serviced the transaxle. They also replaced the CV axles. If you read about the Toyota 4Runners and the Lexus GX 470, you'll find that the front CV axles are prone to failure with higher mileage. And these were just recently done by Lexus using OEM Lexus parts. That's one of the main reasons I bought this. It had always been serviced by Lexus with Lexus OEM parts. And this one is incredibly clean. There's no sign that this one was used off-road. There's no sign that this one was abused. It is just a very clean SUV, other than the yellowed headlights, which will be restored at some point soon. I know that the 4.7 liter V8 engine is going to hold up, and I know a lot of the needed service has already been done to this one. No, it will need more service in the future, and yes, it will be more expensive than something like a Toyota Corolla or a Toyota Camry. But if you go on Toyota Nation and you look on that forum, there are a lot of people that have these that have 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 miles, and they have been relatively trouble-free for these folks. So I'm curious what you think about this. Do you think this was a good purchase for my mother? Let me know in the comment section below. If you have a Lexus GX 470, I'd really enjoy hearing from you. I'd like to know what your experience has been like. Tell me about it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.